My name is Luna, and I'm a woman in my 40s working in healthcare. I first met my husband Jasper 20 years ago when we were both in college. At the time, I was studying in a medical program with the goal of becoming a nurse. Jasper, on the other hand, was an engineering major who loved diving into detailed projects and theories. Our paths crossed one day in the university cafeteria. I accidentally dropped my textbook, and Jasper picked it up for me, sparking a conversation. I was drawn to his sincere demeanor, and we gradually grew closer until we started dating. After graduating, I began my career as a nurse while Jasper started his journey as an engineer. We grew together, supported each other, and eventually got married. Later, we welcomed our wonderful son Tommy into the world, making our family even happier. Tommy is now 6 years old, with an inquisitive nature and a rich emotional sensitivity. Jasper and I love him deeply and cherish every moment of raising him. On weekends, we enjoy going to the park or reading picture books together as a family. Jasper's brother Zion also values family, just like us. Zion has found success as an architect and has built a happy home with his wife Scarlett. Their daughter Hazel is 10 years old. She's a bit introverted, but is always warmly looked after within the family. One day, our family decided to visit Zion's home after a long time apart. We hopped in the car and headed towards Zion's place. During the ride, Tommy gazed out the window and asked, "Mommy, what kind of stories does Hazel like?" I smiled and replied, "I heard Hazel loves animal stories. Since you love animals too, I'm sure you two will have lots of fun chatting." As the car entered a quiet suburban area, Zion's house came into view. It was an impressive 2-story home with a well-maintained flower bed sprawling across the front yard. "This is Uncle Zion's house," Jasper announced, and Tommy's eyes lit up. "It's so big," he exclaimed. We parked the car and walked to the front door, where Zion and Scarlett greeted us with warm smiles. Zion embraced me and said, "It's been a while, Luna. How have you been?" "I'm doing well." "Scarlett, it's so wonderful to see you," I replied, and Scarlett welcomed us inside to relax and get comfortable. Hazel waved shyly at Tommy, who returned the greeting with a bashful, "Hi, Hazel." She took his hand and said, "Hi, Tommy. Let me show you around the house." Stepping inside, we were greeted by a spacious living room filled with warm-colored furniture and decor, creating an instantly soothing ambience. As we settled into the living room, Scarlett brought us some freshly brewed tea. "Thank you, Scarlett. Your home is absolutely lovely," I complimented, to which Scarlett replied with a smile, "Thank you, Luna. We're so happy to have you all here." Meanwhile, Jasper and Zion were engrossed in shop talk. Zion excitedly described his latest architectural project, and Jasper listened intently, sharing in his enthusiasm. "You know, Zion designed this house himself," Scarlett mentioned, much to my surprise. "Really? That's incredible, Zion. To think you designed such a beautiful home." I marveled. As dinner time approached, Scarlett and I found ourselves in the kitchen, preparing the meal together. While cooking, Scarlett confided, I hope Hazel and Tommy get along well. She's a bit shy, you know. I reassured her, saying, "Don't worry, Scarlett. Tommy makes friends easily, so I'm sure he and Hazel will hit it off in no time." Dinner was a joyful affair, filled with laughter around the table as the children exchanged stories. Tommy shared tales from his favorite picture books, and Hazel listened with delight. As the night grew late, Scarlett suggested, "It's about bedtime. Tommy, would you like to have a sleepover in Hazel's room?" Tommy happily agreed, and Hazel smiled, saying, "Sure, let's have a sleepover." We retired to our respective rooms as a peaceful night settled in. Jasper and I sat on the living room couch, reflecting on the day's events. "It was so nice to have everyone together like this after so long," I said, and Jasper quietly replied, "Yes, it really makes you appreciate the importance of family." Late into the night, the house was enveloped in stillness. Tommy was sound asleep in Hazel's room, while Jasper and I rested in the guest bedroom. I was drifting off, wrapped in a cozy weariness. Suddenly, something stirred me awake. In the dimly lit room, I found Tommy standing beside my bed, his small hand gently shaking my shoulder as he whispered, "Mommy, Mommy, wake up." I rubbed my sleepy eyes and looked up at Tommy. "What's the matter, sweetie? It's so late." Tommy's face was etched with worry. "I woke up to go to the bathroom, but..." I heard a voice coming from the wall in Hazel's room. It was scary, and I couldn't fall back asleep. "A voice? What do you mean?" I asked cautiously. "It's true, Mommy. Believe me. I heard someone saying, 'Help me,' from inside the wall." Tears welled up in Tommy's eyes. I hugged Tommy close and gently stroked his hair. "It's okay, honey. I'm sure it was just a misunderstanding. Maybe you had a bad dream. It's very late now, so let's sleep together tonight." At that moment, Jasper stirred awake. "What's going on, Luna? Did something happen?" I explained the situation to Jasper. "Tommy says he heard a voice coming from the wall in Hazel's room." Jasper furrowed his brow. "A voice? That can't be right. Maybe he misheard some other noise." Tommy pleaded again, "Daddy, it's true. I'm too scared to sleep." Jasper looked at Tommy, smiling gently. "It's okay, champ. Daddy will give you a big hug. Don't worry. Now, let's head back to Hazel's room." Though still looking uneasy, Tommy nodded at Jasper's words. I walked Tommy back to Hazel's room and tucked him into bed once more. "Mommy, do you think Hazel heard the voice too?" Tommy whispered. "I'm not sure, but Hazel seems to be sleeping soundly, so I think everything's okay. If anything else happens, let me know right away." I kissed Tommy's forehead and spoke softly. After making sure Tommy was asleep, I returned to the guest room where Jasper was sitting on the bed, waiting. "How'd it go?" "Tommy's still a bit frightened, but he seems to have calmed down for now," I replied. "Yes, I'm sure he'll feel better in the morning," Jasper said, and we settled back into sleep. As dawn approached, I found myself in a strange dream, a shallow slumber. In the darkness, someone was calling out for help. When morning came, the house was once again filled with cheer. The sound of children's laughter echoed through the halls, and Scarlett had prepared a lovely breakfast. It almost seemed like last night's events were just a dream, with everyone going about their day as usual. However, somewhere in my heart, I couldn't shake Tommy's words. A nagging worry spread through my chest, as if his small voice was revealing some greater truth. "Luna, breakfast is ready," Jasper's voice pulled me back to reality. I smiled at him and replied, "Thank you." Hoping for a pleasant day ahead, I decided to enjoy breakfast with my family. Little did any of us know that another strange occurrence awaited us that very night. After breakfast, the children spent the day playing in the yard and drawing pictures inside the house. Meanwhile, the adults enjoyed conversations over tea in the living room and watched an American football game on TV. Everyone had a delightful time throughout the day. For dinner, Scarlett prepared a heartfelt meal. Laughter filled the air as we gathered around the table, feeling the warmth of our family bond. As the evening grew late, the adults continued chatting in the living room, wine glasses in hand. Eventually, it was time for everyone to retire to their rooms for the night. "Today was so much fun," I said to Jasper as I sat down on the bed. "It really was. There's nothing quite like having the whole family together," Jasper agreed, looking content. Suddenly, there was a faint knock at the bedroom door. I opened it to find Tommy standing there, a frightened look on his face. "Mommy," I heard it again. From inside the wall, someone is saying, "Help me." Tommy's voice trembled. Though surprised, I calmly asked, "Really? Where did you hear it?" "I heard it from the wall next to Hazel's room. Please, come and see." Tears welled up in Tommy's eyes once more. I turned to Jasper and said, "Tommy says he heard a voice from the wall again. Maybe we should go check it out." Together, we headed towards Hazel's room with Tommy. The hallway was eerily quiet, an unsettling atmosphere hanging in the air. As we entered Hazel's room, she was sound asleep, but Tommy pointed towards the wall. "Here. This is where I heard it." Jasper and I put our ears close to the wall. At first, we couldn't hear anything, but gradually, a faint sound became audible. Then, suddenly, a clear voice cried out, "Help me." A chilling sensation ran down my spine. "Jasper, I definitely heard it." Jasper nodded, his expression tense. Yes, there was definitely a voice. Suddenly, Zion's voice rang out from behind us. "What are you doing?" We turned around to see Zion standing there. "Stay away from that wall." "Zion, what's going on?" "We can hear a voice coming from inside this wall," Jasper exclaimed. "A voice? What are you talking about?" "You haven't heard anything," Zion shouted angrily, trying to approach us. At that moment, Scarlett appeared and grabbed Zion's arm. "Stop it, Zion. No more secrets." Zion tried to shake Scarlett off, but she desperately held on to him. "Please, We can't keep hiding this anymore. It's time to tell everyone the truth. Scarlett's voice trembled, but there was determination in her words. Jasper walked up to Zion and calmly said, "Tell us what's hidden behind this wall." Zion remained silent for a while, but eventually let out a sigh, as if he had made up his mind. "All right, I'll tell you. But first, let's break down this wall." I was surprised by Zion's words, but Jasper remained composed. Scarlett brought a hammer, and Jasper faced the wall. Comi held my hand tightly, and Scarlett watched with a tense expression. Hazel, who had been sleeping until now, stood next to Scarlett, staring at the wall. In the next moment, Jasper swung the hammer down, striking the wall. A hole opened up, and a faint light seeped through. Jasper swung the hammer a few more times, breaking apart the wall. The sound echoed, and the wall slowly crumbled. Throughout this, Tommy held my hand tightly, his face filled with worry. Almost there. Jasper wiped his sweat and brought the hammer down with even more force. With that strike, the wall collapsed, revealing the figure of a frail child inside. The child, wearing tattered clothes, was crying, chained up. "Help me." The voice was so heartbreaking that we were left speechless, unable to do anything but stare at the scene before us. It was a reality that we couldn't comprehend in an instant. Scarlett trembled, tears welling up in her eyes. Zion stood silently, head hung low. His face was etched with deep regret and anguish. "Zion, who is this child? Why are they here?" Jasper asked quietly, but his voice contained a hint of anger. The room was enveloped in silence, and everyone's gaze was fixed on Zion. Scarlett rushed over to the child who had emerged from the wall, embracing their frail body. The child looked around with frightened eyes. Zion began to speak slowly. "This child is our second child. Hazel's brother, Finn." "Hazel's brother? Then why is he here?" I asked, and Zion continued. "Finn was born with severe autism. He had difficulty communicating verbally and faced many challenges in daily life due to sensory sensitivities. He would sometimes have intense panic attacks in unexpected situations. I was afraid of how our family would be perceived if the world knew about him." "So you hid him inside the wall?" I asked, my voice trembling. "Yes," Zion answered in a low voice. "I concealed Finn from society, so no one would know about him. Even when Scarlett opposed it, I ignored her. I believed it was for the good of the family. I thought Finn's existence would tarnish our reputation." "Reputation?" Jasper said, his voice filled with anger. "It's insane to subject a child to this." Zion grimaced. "You wouldn't understand. You have no idea how cruel the world can be. The prejudice and discrimination a child faces simply for having a disability. I did my best to protect my family from that." "Your best? This?" I couldn't help but say. "Zion, you gave in to your own fears and sacrificed Finn." I said, my voice shaking with anger. Zion replied coldly, "Sacrifice? No, This was a choice made for the family. Finn needed special care, but that didn't mean the entire family had to suffer for it. I considered the happiness of the whole family. The happiness of the whole family. And this is the result. Jasper shouted, his voice filled with rage. Your way is wrong. Finn needed proper care and love. By taking those away from him, you failed as a father. Zion's face turned red. What do you know? I've always done what's best for my family. You have no right to deny that. Scarlett pleaded, trembling, Zion, please stop. You were wrong. Zion was shaken by those words and fell silent for a while. I was wrong. No, I was trying to protect my family. Scarlett continued, Zion, what you did didn't protect Finn, it hurt him. And it hurt me and Hazel too. Zion looked confused and said in a trembling voice, but to protect you from the eyes of the world. At that moment, Tommy said in a small voice, Mommy, Daddy, families are supposed to love each other, right? Tommy went on, Finn is Hazel's family, isn't he? Then we should love Finn too. I want to play with Finn. Zion looked into Tommy's innocent eyes and was at a loss for words. Play with Finn. Tommy added, families should all be together and help each other. Hey, Daddy, Finn looks cold. Please help him. I'll help too. Zion was deeply moved by those words. He remained silent for a while, but eventually hung his head. It seems I was wrong. Putting Finn through this, it's unforgivable. Scarlett wiped her tears and said gently, it's not too late to start now. From now on, let's love and support Finn together. Hazel, Finn, and us. We can all be happy. With tears in his eyes, Zion said, I'm truly sorry for everything until now. From now on, I'll accept Finn as part of the family. I'll never hide or hurt him again. I'll protect him with all my strength. Zion slowly approached Hazel, knelt down, and met her eyes. Hazel, this is Finn. You might not remember, but he's your little brother. Daddy has been hiding him, but from now on, we'll spend time together as a family. Will you love your little brother? Hazel had a mix of surprise and confusion on her face, but eventually nodded quietly. Finn, hello. I'm Hazel, your big sister. Those words warmed my heart. I could see that Hazel's innocent acceptance moved Zion and Scarlett's hearts even further. Jasper looked at Zion. You'll have to show it not just in words, but in actions. Finn needs proper medical care and attention. Hazel will need care too. We'll help, but you need to truly change. Zion bowed deeply. Thank you, Jasper. And I'm sorry for getting you involved in this. I promise to love and protect Finn as a family from now on. Scarlett added, I feel the same way. I vow to keep loving Hazel and Finn. I felt a little relieved by those words. I hope so. So this child never has to suffer again. After that, we immediately took Finn to the hospital. Fortunately, there was a hospital nearby that accepted patients at night. Scarlett stayed by Finn's side, and Zion seemed to have regained his composure. Jasper asked Zion again. "Zion, what do you really plan to do from now on?" Zion closed his eyes and took a deep breath. "I'll make sure Finn gets all the care he needs. I swear I'll never hurt him again." The hospital diagnosis revealed that Finn was suffering from malnutrition and psychological trauma. It was no surprise, considering he had only been given the bare minimum of food and water. The doctors said it would take time for him to recover, but with proper care and affection, he could overcome it. Scarlett held Finn's hand and said through tears, "I'll always be by your side from now on." Zion apologized to Scarlett again. "Scarlett, I truly did something unforgivable. From now on, I'll do everything I can to support Finn." A few weeks passed, and Finn began to show signs of recovery. As he received rehabilitation and counseling, his expression gradually regained vitality. Zion took care of Finn every day, doing everything he could for him. Jasper and I also visited Zion's house regularly, watching over them and realizing that Zion was truly trying to change. Tommy seemed happy to be able to play with Finn, and they slowly deepened their bond. Zion and Scarlett showed a positive attitude towards rebuilding their family. Scarlett said, "Zion, let's grow together as a true family with Finn from now on." Zion nodded deeply and replied, "You're right, Scarlett. We still have a lot to learn. Let's walk through life together with Finn." Laughter returned to Zion and Scarlett's home, and the children's smiles began to shine once again. Several months passed, and both our family and Zion and Scarlett's family had regained a sense of peace. Finn showed remarkable recovery. The whole family worked hard for him, and their efforts were beginning to bear fruit. On a sunny Saturday afternoon, we decided to invite Zion, Scarlett, Hazel, and Finn to the park. Finn played on the playground with Hazel and Tommy, and their laughter was constant. Every time we saw his smile, we felt a deep sense of relief and joy. Zion watched them and smiled at us. "Thank you so much for that time. Family is a wonderful thing." Jasper replied, "It sure is. The most important thing now is that everyone is happy." Just then, Tommy came running up to us. "Daddy, Mommy. Look, Finn can ride the swing now." Finn was gradually learning to express his emotions, and now we could see him playing with Tommy, both of them smiling. "It looks like fun, Tommy." "Finn seems to be having a good time too," I said, smiling as I patted Tommy's head. That evening, our family stopped by Zion and Scarlett's house to have dinner together. When the table was set, Finn sat in his own seat and enjoyed the meal with everyone. "Finn, how was your day?" Zion asked gently. Finn replied, a little shyly, "It was fun." Those simple words filled us with genuine joy. His recovery was a beacon of hope for all of us. "Let's keep having fun times like this together," I said, looking around at everyone. Jasper nodded vigorously. "Yes, there's nothing more important than each and every one of us being happy." That night, before we left for home, Zion approached us again. "Luna, Jasper, thank you so much. If it weren't for you, I'd still be walking down the wrong path. Jasper smiled and said, "What matters is what's ahead, Zion. We'll always be here to support you." Zion said gratefully, "Thank you. I'm truly grateful. From now on, I'll do everything I can to make sure our whole family is happy." That night, after we got home, we fell into a peaceful sleep. Just like Zion and Scarlett, our family vowed to continue living happily, supporting and loving